Hello and welcome everybody to the Mineski Pro Gaming League season number 6, leg 5. It's only one more leg after this, if I'm not mistaken, to just find out who's gonna get to the LAN finals in the Philippines for $20,000. We of course are HeflaTV, and man, we are here thanks to the amazing sponsors of this tournament: Gigabyte, SteelSeries, the Secret Shop Philippines, as well as ViewSonic, and of course, I'm not alone even, I'm Coacher, and joined today by Mike Loris.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I've actually never casted this early before, and I didn't realize that should I cast this early, the sun would literally be right in my eyes because of the way the windows are. So this should be fun for me trying to cut through the sunlight and watch this game. But either way, it should be a good one.
Man, don't you have like drapes or something to pull in front of the window?
No, usually it's just not a problem because no one's up at this time, but I am, so.
Oh man, well, I know that issue since, well, I'm casting at this time almost every time, so I have drapes for that. Otherwise, I am also facing a window that's towards the sun during midday, but not an issue for me, thank God for that. I mean, I've had that issue before, it sucks balls, I have to say. But at the moment, coming into this game, MSI Evolution Gaming Team versus MVP.HOT6. Do you think any team holds a certain advantage, or should this just be like based on draft or something?
Well, obviously every draft is going to be extremely important. I haven't seen these teams play that much. It's Dota, and being in the United States, the time zones rarely match up, so can't really give you too much off of that, though. I did see a little bit of MVP play yesterday, and they look pretty good, so I could only assume that they're going to be performing well.
You mean, the last time I casted Evolution, it was in the last MPGL about a month ago, or almost exactly a month to be honest. They did pretty well against Titan, for example. They tied up a series 1-1, or well, it was a best of 2, so they did manage to take one win off of Titan, so they're pretty damn strong themselves, or at least they can be when they're on top of their game. But they do start out with a Razor at the moment, leaving heroes like Brewmaster, Skydive Mage, Shadow Shaman in the pool.
Yeah, so Razor going to be a good start for MSI to go really wherever they want. It's one of the luxuries of picking up a hero like Razor at the first stage, because you could second pick a support, or you could second pick someone like a Death Prophet, and then between Eye of the Storm and Exorcism you'll be able to shred towers like nobody's business. But the Death Prophet's going to go to the other end. MVP going to pick up Brewmaster and Death Prophet, two of their cores. A good mix of team fight here as MSI, they respond with that Razor support in the Skydive Mage.
Yeah, I mean, just both teams started extremely solid. Skydive Mage, of course, is going to be good up against the Brewmaster. But man, Death Prophet is such a scary hero to be up against, I mean, no matter what. But MVP.HOT6, having the Brewmaster and the Death Prophet, how do they lane this now? Is it just a safe lane farming Brewmaster, or are they waiting for the draft to just see how this goes? And I mean, it's always nice to have the flexibility.
Yeah, I think they would probably just wait as long as they can. Ideally, they don't want to have the Brewmaster go up against the Razor, but also they probably would want to have the Brewmaster mid. So if it's looking like MSI are going to lane Razor mid, then probably just slap the Death Prophet there and be happy, because Death Prophet is perfectly serviceable in that lane. They could even run in something extremely weird and put the Brewmaster in, well, not extremely weird, a little bit strange. Run the Brewmaster in one of the non-traditional roles, off lane or support, if it does come to that. As stands right now, he's going to be going up against the Silence of Skywrath Mage, so placing a huge amount of priority in the Blink Dagger may not yield as much as they would really like.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you there, just 100%. But looking at the next set of bans now, for Evolution Gaming Team, the Ancient Apparition was taken out actually. I mean, so far HOT6 they wouldn't have had the best setup for it, but better safe than sorry. But MVP themselves, banning out a Centaur Warrunner. And of course, man, just taking out those nasty offlaners is always going to be nice, whereas Tidehunter also gets the banhammer.
Lots of hate for those tanky offlane heroes. Centaur, Tide, I would say, probably two of the best at this stage, and of course Faceless Void is already out of the pool in the first ban. So MVP, they're going to be looking for two supports, and MSI, well, not targeting the supports as heavily as I really would have thought. Shadow Shaman's still in the pool, goes great with Death Prophet, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up something like that, and then maybe down the line something like Mirana.
I mean, Mirana is a hero that, I mean, I feel like it's almost never really extremely bad to pick up that hero. Just the versatile skill set that the hero has and the ability to just lane her almost anywhere. Plus the Moonlight Shadow is just so annoying to deal with, man. You're gonna have to carry sentries, dusts, everything. And Moonlight Shadow can be used both aggressively and defensively at the same time. Just so annoying.
Especially when you have heroes like Death Prophet who could fight very well in the Moonlight Shadow. There aren't many heroes like that, but Death Prophet's definitely one of them. So wouldn't be surprised to see either team pick it up, really. Razor's another hero that could fight very well in the Moonlight Shadow, so would be a nice pickup for either team, but she's rarely banned out, though she is pretty highly picked, which is, kind of a weird little happening there. But either way, she's a perfectly viable support. Maybe it's a little bit more viable for MVP than MSI, since MSI have a Skywrath Mage, and Mirana Skywrath Mage is no great setup for Arrow, so unless they want to pick up another stun, another place stun through one of their cores, that's unlikely to happen, or at least less likely to happen.
Yeah, man, wow, MVP, they pick up an Alchemist as the third pick now. I mean, that hero is picked up every now and then. It's a pretty strong hero, of course. Doesn't care too much about the silence, for example, once you already have your Chemical Rage activated. But what do you make of this pick here, man? Going for it as a third pick, it's a hero that otherwise would pretty much never get banned out at the moment. I mean, what are their plans for it?
I hope it's not an Alchemist mid. I feel like that is just the weakest way to play an Alchemist. Just have him as a roamer and have that huge unstable concoction nuke damage be what you're hanging your hat upon. Because if you put the Alchemist in the mid lane, then that is going to shove the Brewmaster off, Death Prophet safe, something around those lines. An Alchemist is one of those heroes that doesn't really win the lane, he just survives the lane. Like, it's very rare that the Alchemist is going to get solo kills on the enemy, and especially versus someone like a Razor, the Alchemist is not going to have a good time. So I hope for MVP that this is a support Alchemist, in which case it's a place stun, and when you have Acid Spray and Exorcism on the floor at the same time, then you're going to be doing a lot of damage, so it's not too terrible.
What would you think of the idea of just Alchemist safe lane farming, maxing out Creevil's Greed, something that we haven't seen for a really, really long time, or at least I myself haven't?
That wouldn't be terrible either. I mean, Ancient Apparition's already banned out. MSI banned that one out themselves. If they could get some nice support heroes, then they could make that lane fairly aggressive. So, would really be up to MVP to make the right team comp for that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that either for a late game core Alchemist.
Well, we will see in any case, as MSI Evolution, they're taking a really long time deciding on the third pick here. I mean, Wraith King was banned out. I mean, I guess something like an Earthshaker wouldn't be too bad of a pick together with the Skywrath Mage, or at least is a pretty common one to say the least. Just solid long range stun, the possibility of huge Blink Echo Slams once he gets the Blink Dagger. And, I mean, at the moment, having a Skywrath Mage against Alchemist, yeah, I'm just hoping for some nice silences so that the Alchemist can throw out the Unstable Concoction.
Well, MSI, they're actually just going to go for the Rubik, so he has some okay stuff to steal. It's fairly easy to steal a split from Brewmaster if you do manage to survive through the entire split. Alchemist steals aren't the best, Death Prophet steals are okay, but really I think MSI just want that play stun, because the heroes with play stuns are getting a little bit thin. I would have liked to see a Venge over this one, though. No real huge reason to pick up Revenge here. So Rubik, perfectly serviceable. Going with Skywrath Mage will open the door later on for some Mystic Flare combinations. You lift them up and then drop a Flare on them, or pull them back into a Razor, something like that. Then the enemy team's going to be hurting, even though all three of their cores are pretty tanky, or all three of their heroes are pretty tanky.
Yeah, and wow, MVP going for a Witch Doctor now. So, I mean, Paralyzing Cask is a decent enough stun, I guess. If you get a little bit lucky with the bounces, then it can be excellent even. And getting some heal for themselves. Somebody gets caught in the Mystic Flare but just manages to run out of it suddenly. The Voodoo Restoration trying to heal them back up. Especially if Alchemist himself has the Chemical Rage there as well. And I mean, there's not the greatest setup for just Death Wards and whatnot. But if there's Acid Spray under people with the minus armor, the Death Ward does to increase damage.
Yeah, usually we see this Witch Doctor being comboed up with the Chronosphere or a Ravage. Some big AoE disable that lets the Witch Doctor get at least a couple of seconds of that Death Ward. But for now it's going to be, well, MSI, they only have 2 skills that actually cancel that one out with the Telekinesis plus the Silence. So Witch Doctor should be okay to channel a couple seconds of that Death Ward, though facing up against this high damage side of MSI, he probably won't live long enough to really get it off the ground. As MSI, they do pick up a Weaver, so that is going to be here that it's going to be a little bit difficult for MVP to lock down. They will have a couple of stuns and a silence from Death Prophet, so they're going to be kind of prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean, they should be fine if they just, unless they completely overextend or forget that hero being there and just overlook him or something. But a Nature's Prophet, the last pickup for MVP, so between a Death Prophet, Nature's Prophet, and a Witch Doctor just with the Voodoo Restoration, that's some pretty crazy amount of push. And I mean, I guess with a Plasma Field and a Fate Bolt, the counter push is decent, or even rather good, I think, for MSI. But man, last pick Batrider, it is good against the Nature's Prophet for sure. Just being able to scout him out while he's trying to do his rat business. But I really like MVP's lineup here, I have to say.
Yeah, MVP most likely going to be playing with the Witch Doctor Alchemist Roam / support combination, and they have a ton of push. And MSI, the last pick Batrider, I really do like in order to counter this. If you know that you're going to be pushed, you want to be the one initiating the fights so that you could at least get something off the ground. And if you're going to be looking to initiate fights, it pretty much doesn't get much better than Batrider. Also, it solidifies their lanes pretty hard, since Batrider is going to have usually a decent time in lane, and if he doesn't have a decent time in lane, well, then you ship him to the jungle, in which case he'll be able to get some farm there. So MSI, the question is going to be whether or not they could survive this push upcoming from MVP, because right now their team fight, as well as their pushing power, is pretty high compared to MSI's.
Yeah, it most certainly is at the moment. A lot of just how well MSI can do here will most likely have to do how fast the Batrider can get his Blink Dagger. If he gets it with a pretty nice timing, you can just start getting pickoffs and either slowing down the push or stopping it completely, because when you're one man down, just fighting after that will be a little bit hard. Although, I mean, apart from just getting the lasso initiation, it's not like MSI have a huge amount of just initiation or team fight control between them, so it might become a huge issue for them, especially just when the Primal Split comes out from Brewmaster, just creating the space necessary for a proper push.
Yeah, for MSI, the name of the game is going to be get the jump on the enemy, take one hero out, and then, try to clean up the rest of them, because their lineup is very much so a single target focused lineup. They're going to be going for one dude, killing him, and then, the Weaver and Razor are going to be draining damage and dealing damage all the while. They want to play a really run and gun fight after they get that initiation, so we'll see if they actually manage to do it, because they're sending right now through 4 heroes down to the bot lane. Looks like it's going to be Trick playing the Skywrath Mage supporting, as is JYC on the Rubik. No, that's not Trick, that's YND, my bad guys. Jotan is going to be on the Razor, Shenrui is on the Weaver, and the Batrider's up top, but they might run into the Alchemist. The Batrider's going to be played by BYB.
Man, those names, I feel you, man, I feel you. But for MVP, Jubei will be playing the support Alchemist, starting with the Boots of Speed as well, leaving Warnut to play on the Witch Doctor, with the last one for them. Oh wait, it's Music on the Nature's Prophet, mid lane taken up by Roji's Death Prophet, and Cynical on the off-lane Brewmaster, so VG gaming style of safe lane, tri-lane, Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most common way to go. Nature's Prophet does excel quite a bit with having just a lot of experience, and this is going to put the Brewmaster up on top against the Batrider, and that's not the best lane for Brewmaster. He does have boots level 1, so the tar not going to be all too effective, but it'll be a quick set of a quick stick for the Brewmaster, and then he should be able to survive very well up on that top lane.
Yeah, I mean, he most likely will as well. And mid lane, it's gonna be Death Prophet. This is actually a pretty good matchup up against Razor, I think. One of the better heroes to go there. He has some pretty nice movement speed herself, thanks to the Witchcraft, of course. And the ability, the Crypt Swarm, just allows him to farm from a safe distance as well. So Razor can't really abuse his static link dominance here.
Yeah, so Razor probably not going to get any kills just yet. I don't know if any kills should happen on this lane outside of people making mistakes or rotations or whatnot. But yeah, Death Prophet Razor, relatively even, I would say. And well, at that point, it's going to be all eyes on the bottom lane. Top lane, well, BYB is getting pressured back quite a bit by Cynical, but Nature's Prophet, as far as tri-lane Nature's Prophets go, he's a hero that has decent base damage, but if he gets aggressed upon like this, he really can't do anything, especially with going level 1 Nature's Call. He's going to need pretty much his supports to do everything, and now he gets lifted up into the air. The Arcane Bolt's flying, he's dropping very low, very quickly, and he's going to go down to the supports. It's going to be JYC drawing that one. Now they're going to go for Warnut. Shenrui trying to hide in the trees, buy enough time for the Shikuchi. He won't find enough time for that, but they will find enough time to kill off the Witch Doctor. And now, where are you going? EvoGT is going to run in the trees as well. He's going to, well, get Unstable Concoction and then beaten down. Shenrui is back, and he's going to jump right in. Who's going to be for Jubei? Slowed down by a concussive shot. Shenrui taking a lot of damage from the trees, but Jubei tanky enough to survive that. In the end, it is a 3-for-3 exchange as Brewmaster kills the Batrider up on top.
Man, what an early game, and of course Brewmaster getting that kill is absolutely huge for him. Getting any kind of level advantage and just getting the increased gold. Now he can just continue on with the harass. Thunderclap, a few more right clicks, gets a crit there as well, but 3 stacks of sticky napalm. BYB, does he want to go for it? No, Cynical, he's far enough with those boosts of speed of his. So, what an action-packed early game already. In the mid lane, Roji, he's completely out of mana. Actually started with a Null Talisman and 3 Iron Branches on top of that. So, still doesn't have his bottle yet, and oh man, look at JYC. He is hunting for that courier to deliver the bottle. As actually top lane, BYB, can he actually escape with his Firefly? Cynical wants to get close, one right click might do the job, no. He has to use the magic stick to just get out of the Firefly. Thunderclap, he's baiting for it. 3 and oh, Musica, he came in, they want Batrider so damn bad. Firefly ends and one more right click Musica, he's gonna get it.
Nature Prophet helping out a little bit. I guess this tri-lane kind of does work in that Nature Prophet can leave and then the supports can get some experience, but you know, when the Nature Prophet does leave, the supports
don't
a
die,
little
JYC, one more right click, he's gonna get it.
Got him.
Holy
No
crap,
bottle for Death
that's so
Prophet.
huge.
That is painful. That is so painful. We said before that the lane was going to be relatively even. Not anymore. Razor has this lane pretty much on lockdown.
And that snipe, of course, is Rubik having the boost of speed as well to make sure he can just stay on target for the next right click. And it was so close to being 3 minutes in, where the courier could have potentially been upgraded. So really nice timing from the Rubik, and of course Death Prophet, even if he had gotten his bottle like a little bit earlier, the Rubik still would have been there. He got there at a pretty nice time, I have to say, but is he gonna be in some trouble? Yes, he is. They spotted the Ruby coming in. Unstable Concoction already being channeled. Warnot, even not throwing out the Paralyzing Cask. Actually, he went for it now. The Pounces go back and forth. Back to Chi1 once again. They can't go for it. And Jubei, he's going for the TP out channel. Can he get one more right click in? No, the Sprout. It stops him from right clicking. Now Sukuchi coming off cooldown. Just barely the Warnot. They pop the dust. One more right click Musica. He gets the kill, so a 2-for-1 in the end.
2-for-1, and the Razor did
2-for.
leave the lane trying to get something. So that was a pretty nice win for MVP. They lose supports, but you know that's what supports are for. They're supposed to take the bullet so that the Nature Prophet can ultimately reap the rewards. And he's going for lots of no talismans at the minute. I do like this build in this scenario. If you know you're going to be fighting early and often, then you want to get as much damage as you can, as quickly as you can. And null talismans are one of the most cost-effective ways of doing that.
Yeah, so at the moment 6-4 MVP, 4 minutes in. They do have the lead, but of course, since they did lose their courier, it was a melee one, so it gave a little bit less gold to MSI. I do believe it's 125 to each member, but that's still a pretty huge sum to just give away. So looking at the super early graphs, MSI do have the gold lead here as well, about only 600 XP, actually 1000 in MVP's favor thanks to the kills. But mid lane, looking at the last hits, Chotan 19-4 compared to actually an 18-4 Death Prophet, so even without the bottle, keeping up in last hits.
I guess just holding off with those Crypt Swarms. If she did have the bottle, she'd be able to spam way more liberally. And, well, Jubei looking for the mid lane. He actually has a Flying Courier on his person. You never see that ever because, well, that just shouldn't happen. But he's looking for it now as he is going to lay the acid, throw the potion. Crypt Swarm is to land, and the Sprout is there. Jotan doesn't have any tangos or anything. He's going to go down. Death Prophet takes the kill.
Man, I absolutely love aggressive Nature Prophet play, just TPing around the map early on. But top lane, are we going to see something? The Primal Split gets used. Boulder toss into BYB. I think he's going to chase him down. Storm Panda. Windwalk used for the extra movement speed. And Cynical gets yet another kill on the Batrider.
Yeah, I said the Brewmaster would be able to survive this lane. I definitely didn't expect for the Brewmaster to be killing the Batrider. Not just once, but twice now, I think. 3 times. The Brewmaster is absolutely destroying this Batrider up on top lane, and I don't think that should be happening.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shouldn't. Of course, the first blood, maybe Batrider got a little bit overeager there, just didn't respect the Thunderclap, the potential right-click crit coming in from Brewmaster. But JYC and YND, they are smoked up. They're gonna go for Roichi, and Chotan is there as well. Static Link activated, Telekinesis, Concussion Shot at the same time. Should be an easy kill. I mean, the Fate Bolt, Plasma Field to come through, and that did the skill, but Paralyzing Cask, JYC, is he gonna go down? Nature Prophet, I know he wanted to TP in. He's gonna come for it as well. One more right click, he's gonna get the kill, but Silence Top Arcane Bolts flying YND. Man, those names. They just tongue twist, but Unstable Concoction Jubei gonna stun himself as Musica. He was pretty close to dying, but thank God Sky of Mage didn't have any more mana.
Yeah, Nature Prophet pretty bulky with those 2 null talismans, gonna give him, well, 6 more strength than he ordinarily would have. But either way, MVP making some really nice rotations. Even though they did get ganked, they had enough people in the correct areas, plus Nature's Prophet, in order to make that not a complete loss. So Musica's playing this Nature's Prophet in a very, I want to say non-traditional way. It's seen occasionally, but more often than not, Nature's Prophet is going to be teleporting in only occasionally when stuff is really going down, not when it's going to be, can I get a single pick off on a single support? Because usually that's not worth it for Nature's Prophet, but in this scenario, he's making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he is effectively actually top lane, another stun onto BYB, Thunderclap to follow up as well. They need a little bit more. Can they chase him down in the trees? I do think they can, although telekinesis from JYC might be enough. Cynical, he's gonna gun for it, and he gets the kill, man. Face boots with the extra movement speed. This Batrider is having such a horrible time.
Yeah, you said it before that this game would very much so hinge upon MSI's Batrider getting a quick Blink Dagger. That's not going to happen, and now they're going to go for round whatever this is. Jubei's going to get stunned and kill himself. Sudoku is committed, and now Sprout is up onto JYC, but he can't really do anything. There's a split, though. Jotan, due to target focus, not really healthy to begin with. BYB is here, but instantly up into the air he goes. Now, the Rubik in a little bit of trouble. The Brewmaster wants more blood, and it's going to be the blood of Rubik, it looks like. One more hit, it's not going to be enough even with the Windwalk damage. Brewmaster in a little bit of awkward situation, does throw the Batrider up in the air as his last dying wish, but Cynical just needs one clap to kill off Rubik, though he doesn't have the mana. One more whack will do it too. There it is, Cynical's going to get the kill, and then, wow, really? You're going to try to TP out? I don't think that was going to happen, but he gets 2 kills. The dominating streak does go to the Batrider, though. They're not done. Here comes Jubei, laying the acid and the potion down to YND. 2 punches, that's going to be that. Now BYB, he's going to feel comfortable to take the Alchemist, but he doesn't know that Raji's right behind him, and the Nature's Prophet come in at the drop of the hat. So it looks like that should be it. Batrider kind of stuck back there for the moment, and Raji does not have exorcism, so they can't go for this tower.
Oh man, this this non-stop fighting. In 20 kills, 8 minutes in. That's just a crazy amount, to be honest. And Alchemist being level 6, well, he's definitely happy about the fact that he has Chemical Rage for the increased mana as well as health regeneration. But the kill onto the Brewmaster, especially BYB, I think he got it on the Batrider. So he's suddenly that much closer to his Blink Dagger. I mean, only 600 gold away. He got, what, like, almost 600 gold? 531 for the kill on Cynical's Brewmaster. So definitely helping out there just to catch up a little bit, getting some nice XP from there as well. But Cynical, he's already making his way back, only 400 gold short of his own Blink Dagger. And do you actually think he's going for a straight up Blink Dagger? I mean, sometimes it's like face put drums into Blink, or...
Well, he's got Orb of Venom, so if ever there's a game that Brewmaster delays a Blink voluntarily, it's going to be this one. He is not on the top of the last hit denied chart, but he's farming heads, and that's all reliable gold, so if he really does want to, he could go for something a little bit weird, and, well, Jubei is going to be acting as bait right now. Cynical doesn't have a Blink Dagger or a Split to back him up quickly, but they do have Musica who can help out. In the meantime, bottom lane, Warnut in a little bit of trouble as Shenrui going to go straight for this Witch Doctor. Death Ward trying to race the Weaver, and it does work, forcing out the time lapse. And then top lane, here's the lasso onto Jubei. He is Chemical Rage up though, so he's going to be pretty tanky, and he will slip away for now. Cynical going to jump right in for the clap. Doesn't have a split just yet. It will have it soon enough though. Split, split, split. It will get it off, and the damage drain not going to do much here. Jubei going to turn around for a stun onto YND, but still in the Chemical Rage, still regenerating with phase boots. He'll just book it. The Brewmaster also already on his way out. Meantime, Weaver did go down in the bottom lane, but top lane looks like no one's going to die here. Brewmaster just barely surviving, though using Split purely defensively, not exactly the best. It's buying time for Raji and Music on the bottom lane to get this tier 1 tower, and after that Weaver kill, I think they will get it as well.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit surprising that they actually got the Weaver kill. I guess Musica had to land a pretty nice Sprout there, because there's no point into silence yet on Roji's Death Prophet. But this is a kill on the Weaver, the tier 1 tower down, so they've destroyed 2 towers already. Death Prophet is actually pretty damn close. Or does he have it already? No, just needs the recipe for the Yule Scepter now. Blink Dagger finished and Cynical as well. But Batrider gets it actually at the same time as the Brewmaster, which is definitely surprising considering how bad the lane went for the most part for her, or him.
Yeah, I didn't see the stack status of the jungle, but he just cleared some camps out. I can only assume that they were, you know, quad or even quint stacked. So Batrider's going to get his core item, and then suddenly, after a really, really terrible laning phase, the Batrider can still be active. It's going to be a while before he gets his Force Staff, for sure, but the surprise factor of that Blink Dagger is not to be overlooked, though. With a Blink Brewmaster and a Witch Doctor cask, the Batrider is going to have to be sure to burst down whoever he goes for, and that means probably no more pulling back the Chemical Raged Alchemist.
Oh yeah, I mean, this game at the moment, it's gonna be hard for MSI, especially since there's just the levels are coming in from MVP. Nature's Prophet is level 9, but he has the maxed out Nature's Call, that's really all he needs. The Prophet needs about 2 levels more as well to just be an extreme machine, well 1 level now to get the level 2 exorcism. The 12 spirits plus those of the witchcraft. But the last tower went down without the help of the Natures or the Death Prophet. And Musica, he's going for the Orchid, which is going to be an extremely good item just up against the Weaver to ensure that he can't escape.
Yeah, I love this. 2 Null Talismans, not going crazy with, 3 or 4 of them, and then gonna go for another aggressive item in the Orchid. It's, I think, a lot better than the really wonky Blade Mail build that seems to be all the rage nowadays, but Musica, I give your build my seal of approval, as if he gets the Orchid up in time, then the Weaver, who has been having pretty nice time free farming, although has died a couple times, is going to be slowed down even more. Really, MSI, none of their heroes have been having a great time, and now Razor going to look to go down again. No split, but the Death Ward is there with the Unstable Concoction. Doing a little bit of damage there. Razor is going to go down, and then right off of that, push time. Batrider's going to lay some fire, but he used the Blink Dagger for that one, so last initiation is not going to catch anyone by surprise.
I mean, Rochi even has a regeneration room bottled up, so can spam the silence as well as the Crypt Swarm a little bit more, and they're gonna get the tower. Although it is a level 1 exorcism, it's still gonna be enough with the 5 of them being there. They're just getting a ridiculous amount of map control and global gold thanks to that. I mean, Jubei on a support alchemist, of course he's 3, 1 and 4, so that's already pretty good, but he is only a recipe short of finishing a mech for their team. And I was like, at the start I was like, who's gonna build the mech for them? But he's gonna get it fast enough, and bottom lane Cheway, he's gonna be in so much trouble. Sprouted up, already used the telekinesis as well. Crypt Swarm, one more right click Musica. He gets that kill. Shenroi probably gonna make his escape. But actually, Chubei, he's camping for him. Is he still in the sentry range? He gets out of it. Although the stun is there, Sukuchi just ends in time. The courier it comes in, it's not gonna die. And Shenroi most likely will make it out, but it's just not happy times for them.
He's going to teleport away, and Jubei, channeling a stun, not going to have it out in time, so a little more damage for the Alchemist. But if you look at the Alchemist's farm versus the Razor, it's actually kind of scary. Like, Razor technically has more, but he only has his Buckler. He doesn't have another part of that mech, whereas Jubei has 2 parts and Phase Boot. So it seems like these 2 heroes are rather even at this stage, and this is a port roaming Alchemist, and this is a Razor who is soloing the mid lane against the Death Prophet with no bottle. Yet their farm status, as far as important items are concerned, is relatively even. MVP are looking great this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the difference of, first of all, getting kills and not dying. Not dying is actually a huge source of income, in a sense. And just, I mean, 4 towers have been destroyed already. Looking at the graphs, it's an 8,000 gold lead for MVP. XP about 6,000, so I mean, what's gonna stop this deathfall push? I mean, yes, Lasso is still there on BYB's Batrider, but is it gonna be enough purely? I mean, just the item advantage from MVP. Net worth wise, yes, like you mentioned, Razor is a little bit ahead of the Alchemist, but Alchemist is the lowest farmed hero on MVP. I mean, Warnut, there's only 100, well 200 net worth difference between a Witch Doctor and a core Razor.
That's terrifying, and MVP, well, they're not going to let up. I hate it when teams get ahead like this and then they just stop doing things, but they're going to group up on the bottom lane, looks like, and look for that tier 2 tower. With Exorcism level 2 now, Death Prophet will be able to put a lot of hurt there, as Nature Prophet does teleport towards mid. He sees the Weaver, he wants the Weaver, gets lifted up into the air, but Weaver's silenced up. He's going to take a good bit of damage, but he will have enough time to time-lapse, I think. No! Musica doing so much damage with his right clicks. That Orchid came up pretty quickly as well. And then bottom lane, there's the Death Ward with the Acid. BYB taking so much minus armor damage. The Urn Charge probably will bring him down, though JYC comes in with the Mystic Flare combination. Clap stolen, landed on 2. That's ultimately going to be a 2-for-2 trade. They did take out the Batrider, but there's going to be more. Blink forward, big crit onto the Skywrath Mage, going to kill him off. And now the Crypt Swarm looking for the target of Rubik. Dual Scepter is there. Musica's going to jump in as well. Evo is going to go down, and then Jotan. He's silenced up. No more disables or slows or anything like that, so he should survive. Well, there's Drunken Haze slowing him down. Raji really wants this one. He's going to get it as well. One more hit. One more hit. There you go. Have the spirits hit him. That's good. And, well, Shenrui looking for the Death Prophet on her way out, but Exorcism is timing out. That's going to be a full restore for her. And the damage from Weaver shouldn't be enough. It's going to be racing these spirits. Raji's just going to regenerate up to full.
That movement speed from a Death Prophet is so sick with maxed out Witchcraft and the face position. The silence onto Shenrui. They're going for the turnaround. Another Crypt Swarm. 2 more right clicks and Soul Burn should be enough. Holy crap, man, that's just those fights. Yes, they lost as 2 supports bottom lane, but man, they gained so much in return. It's not even funny how far ahead they are.
MVP just turned the aggressive dial all the way up to max, and they're just constantly just going for it. Roshan is up, and with Alchemist Acid Spray and all these summons, it should be a relatively easy Roshan for them, especially since MSI so far behind. It's going to be hard for them just to gather up and go for something like that. Though Batrider with the Roshan pit, you always have to respect that. MVP, they're not going to push their luck. They're just going to group up on the bottom lane. They'll summon some Treants, and they'll have Exorcism, well, ready in time for possibly a high ground push. MSI, I don't know if they can defend this, let alone if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, tier 2, I think there's no point in even trying, possibly. Unless MVP, of course, are there like with only 2 heroes or something, but they are completely grouped up. They have all of their ultimates, apart from the Exorcism, which is only 13 seconds away. So this high ground push is gonna be real. Unfortunately, Jubei still doesn't have his mech due to him dying in the last fight. Whereas Razor finishes up his, but is this mech on the Razor even gonna just be enough?
The Batrider doesn't use his lasso or Firefly for initiation just yet. Raji with the double damage rune. He's gonna start on the tower, and yeah, though MSI do have the mech advantage, they have a disadvantage everywhere else where it counts. Raji gonna back off for now, stun onto the Batrider. A little bit of poking damage here and there as the Fade Bolt does fly, and now Batrider looking for initiation. He does get the Firefly. He's going to run away. Okay. I think it's time to back off because they don't have to go for this. Exorcism was used, brought the tower down to half, and Musica's up top pushing that tower down. So MSI, they're forced to stay in their base and defend, else lose the tier 3. It's going to be a free tier 2 for MVP, so they could be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure if this tower is actually going to drop down on the top lane, but it's definitely taking some pretty nice amount of damage. The Batrider is coming in. He has the 4-step as well. He's getting the blink 4-step used as well just to get closer, lassoed up. More TPs to arrive. Shenru is there and Musica. Well, he's not TPing out of there, or is he? Nope, the silence comes out in time.
It's a big amount of gold going the way of the Skywrath Mage, who's certainly going to be happy with that. But kill on the Nature's Prophet, it's a good start for MSI, but it's definitely not the end all, especially if their Razor gets picked off here. Haste Rune for the Death Prophet, blink forward for a clap from Cynical. He's going to try to TP out, and there's no stuns. Looks like they kind of jumped the gun with their mobility. Witch Doctor with no blink dagger, not much movement speed, can't exactly do the same thing. So going for a Razor, not going to happen.
Well, at least, I mean, MVP didn't use too much for it as well. Just Thunderclap and the Creeps form, nothing lost. Rochi should have plenty of mana to just spam out all of his spells in 20 seconds time. I mean, so just more or less wait for the next creep wave and go high ground again. Break tier 3. It is down to half HP, but Cliff is on cooldown this time.
And it looks like Raji's going to take a minute to go for the finished Bloodstone before they do go for that high ground push. So any kills going to be a little bit nicer for the Death Prophet. And also crucially, they have their bottom tier 1 up. So if need be, if the Death Prophet does get a whole bunch of Bloodstone charges, she could teleport down to the bottom lane and then just sprint up to the fight. She won't have the Exorcism up at that time probably, but she'll be able to rejoin the fight pretty quickly. And now, here's the push. Death Prophet going to use her ultimate, and the Spirits once again going to go to work, although stolen by JYC. So this is going to help the Rubik quite a bit in these fights, especially if they get the proper Batrider initiation. He's now flying off to the right. I don't think MVP know about this just yet, so Raji's got to be very careful, though. He's pretty tanky with the Bloodstone. Got to respect the Batrider. There's the initiation, kind of, not really. Raji's going to back off, and Jubei does throw a stun. Everyone should be falling back for now. Jubei does have the mech completed. They're just going to go for it. There it is. Big kill onto the Rubik, killing him off before he get anything off. That was just a clap crit with the minus armor from the Acid, and that's the end of the tier 3 tower.
Oh, legit. And he just activated the Exorcism and literally went down immediately from Cynical. He wants to get more. He has the blink there. Blink Thunderclap onto JYD. Primal Split comes out as well. Nothing can hurt him anymore. The silence up onto 3 enemy heroes. Chotan, is he gonna go down? The Static Link is activated on a Panda, the Fire one. He's trying to run away, actually. Use Scepter, or rather the Static Storm. Not Static Storm, what am I saying, man? The Tornado, what, Shenrui? Gets stunned by the Boulder Toss. They are just keeping everybody away from the racks while they're taking it. But now, finally, the Lessa went to Cynical, but he's so damn tanky. The right clicks, will they even be enough? The mech is used. The Cynical actually might even lose his life. Yes, he will as well. He goes down, Chotan, somehow still alive. Oh man, the Primal Split was stolen. Rubik, he's turning their own weapons against them. Rochi, is he gonna go down from this? Yule Scepter used. He wants to buy some more time. He doesn't want to lose the Bloodstone charges. The mech comes out from Jubei. And Musical, he's gonna lose his life here. But melee racks are down. Objective accomplished.
They're still going to chase this one down. Warnut does have a TP, and it looks like he will successfully TP out. Unless he gets lifted, he's out. But Raji, he has a lot of movement speed still on the Bloodstone. They're going to turn this one around as Musica does return to the fight. YND going to get silenced up. Razor's here though. Musica is going to just barely dodge that Mystic Flare, but he does go down regardless. Now Jubei trying to hide. A little bit of over-aggression for MVP, overestimating the tankiness of the Nature's Prophet, who did die back right then. But they lost quite a bit, MVP, but they also gained exactly what they came for. They got the Raxes, so no matter how bad that went at the end of it, they're going to be completely okay, knowing the fact that that lane is going to be a huge win for them.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a little bit overzealous coming out from MVP, especially the dieback from Nature's Prophet. But just like you said, I mean, you get the melee Rax. Even if you trade some kills, man, they got a solid amount of kills in return. I guess maybe dove a little bit too far from them, just weren't happy enough with the Brewmaster zoning everybody else out. And of course, Exorcism had ended by that time as well, but I mean, just whenever you have a Nature's Prophet on your team and you're already even one melee Rax ahead, the enemy team has to be so wary of that lane and just push it out constantly. But Roshi with the Invis rune, he's gonna break the smoke off Skyref. Can he set up a solo kill though? And is there some detection?
There's the Exorcism and the jump in from the Brewmaster. Wants to get a split off. He's going to get lasso, but I don't think they have enough burst damage. Raji's the one taking most of the damage, throwing herself up in the air with the Yules. The split does go off as Rubik does go down to the Death Ward. Jotan now stunned up. Does take a clock from the Aghanim Scepter as well, and he's going to go down following. Raji's getting restored up so quickly due to this Voodoo Restoration. Shenri trying to kill off Warnut, but he's just not dying right now. They're going to go after the Batrider. They'll take him out. Weaver's the only one to survive. He was 100% ignored in that fight because he's doing pretty much no damage. He's has like half a BKB. That's not enough to draw your attention. So MVP, they're gonna take a very nice 4-man sweep, losing absolutely nothing except for the Exorcism, which will slow down this push, but they have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is dead. I mean, yes, the supports will be alive. They have the Mystic Flare, but man, they're gonna go for the Weaver. He's silenced up by Yorkie. Another silence from the Death Prophet just to ensure the kill. And Weaver doesn't even have his BKB finished 23 minutes in. Just has nothing at all.
This game is looking more or less over for MSI as they are failing to mount significant defense on this upper lane, and the bottom lane is also pushing, so if they don't clear out everything within the next 30 seconds, they're going to lose 2 sets of Raxes completely. Plasma Field is going to fly, and Raji will quickly break that static link. Eye of the Storm is active, but the Acid Spray is down as well. There's the initiation onto Raji. Can they bring down the Death Prophet? You bet they can, but Death Prophet with a 4-second respawn timer is going to be up and kicking very swiftly as Weaver is forced to buy back. The Cask is going to die any chasing as Shenri trying to chase forward actually gets hit with a big crit, has a time lapse, will use it and survive. Cynical with the TP out is going to get lifted up and will be cancelled. He's going to try to run, but I don't think he's going to escape this one, especially now with another clap from the Rubik. They lose the Brewmaster, they lose the Death Prophet. They take a tier 3 tower, and well, bottom lane, the range Raxes did fall. MVP, that push, not as good as the last one, but still, it's them making some headway with the objectives.
I mean, yes, it definitely was the most optimal fight for them, but how many buybacks? Actually, Weaver was the only one to buy back, so MSI didn't lose too much. Yes, they lost the fight before, but considering how they lost that previous fight, I was a little bit surprised that the Rax actually are standing almost at full HP, both of them. But looking at the graphs, it is about a 16,000 gold lead for MVP. XP did drop down to about 3,500 after that top fight where Nature's Prophet even diebacked. But it's still up to, actually drops down to 5k now. But just a gold lead, the item advantage, and of course just one lane of Rax constantly pushing in and the other one being exposed. It's exactly what MVP needs.
Something that was really huge for MSI was the fact that they finally got their initiation off. In all the previous fights, MVP with the Blinking Brewmaster has been the one to start everything, or with an Alchemist stun, or anything. But this time the Batrider got it off, and he was able to kill off the Death Prophet before anything else happened with the help of that Mystic Flare, which is now level 2. If MSI can continuously get initiation off, and you would expect them to be able to with the Batrider, then they're going to be in a much better position because, as I said in the early stage, if they start every single fight 4v5, then they are probably going to win that fight. Of course, facing this much disadvantage, it's a little bit more iffy, but if they get a Brewmaster and deny a split, or if they get Death Prophet and try to bring her down in a quick enough manner, then that'll be a huge win for MSI. And then at that point, the MVP side won't really know whether to fight or to retreat, which is going to buy more time for MSI.
Yeah, and the biggest factor here as well, I mean, if you have a Bloodstone and you die, it actually heals your teammates at the same time, but if he's the first one going down, there's no heal, but oh, there's the Blink Thunderclap onto the Primus with 3-man silence to follow up Batrider. He's gonna lose his life almost immediately. Weaver got thrown up in the air. Can they lock him down once he comes down? from the Cyclone as Showdown. Well, they don't care. They're just going to kill off the Razor. Shenry, he can do whatever he wants. He's going to get silenced off now by Yorkie. They need some stuns, something to death ward. Actually, they don't have vision, and I think he's going to be safe. He has the time lapse as well. Another silence is there. The stuns, no, he's actually going to be safe.
Yeah, the Maledict doesn't do nearly enough. I think it's only level 1. That's level 2 Maledict for the Witch Doctor. So Death Ward ultimately wasted. Exorcism is going to pretty much time out, so they're not going to take this tier 3 tower very easily. But they do take a very nice fight because, once again, Cynical is the one to initiate. The Batrider messed his up because he failed to lasso or something. Now they're just going to go for more. Raji going to dive deep into their tier 4s. He will get warded back, but he's a Shivas. He's so tanky. Now the Sprout onto Shenry will cut his way out of there, but to what end? Like, sure, you're not going to die, but what are you going to do then? Time lapse back, and they're just going to go for top lane, it seems. The mid lane, in the meantime, the Raxes are in trouble as the Treants just go to work there. So MVP going to look to end this in one fell swoop, but there's the last one to Roger with the Mystic Flare, bringing him down pretty quickly. Dual Scepter will save him for the moment, but the regen actually popping in the air. He's going to die regardless, though. Cynical does jump in for a nice clap, instantly buffed out due to that mech. They take the range racks on the mid lane, and it looks like that's going to be all they get. They're going to go for Shenry, actually, as Musica does teleport right back in here. Warnut, completely ignored, is going to throw out a nice cast to slow down everyone. Jubei will teleport out, as will Warnut. Everyone's going to escape with the exception of Musica. Buyback from the Brewmaster, though he can't really help out here. They take out a range racks this time, and that's about it. Melee up top dropping pretty low, but that will regenerate soon enough.
Yeah, I think MVP, they spread themselves a little bit too thin there, just got a little bit overeager, thought that they can take both racks at the same time. If they had focused on just one set, most likely would have been enough. But Exorcism, it's off cooldown in 4 seconds time. It's level 2 as well. He has the Shiva's card. He's pretty tanky, although we have seen it now at least 2 times. When you get last out into the Mystic Flare, there's no escaping, man. Dual Scepter, yes, he got to use it, but by that time he only had like, what, 200 health left. So he just came down to the Firefly and got taken care of. So MSI, they are still in this game, but the initiation gonna come out, unstable concoction, but the silence comes out. Is he gonna stun himself again? Shiva's card. It's gonna slow down Showdown. Nice force to try to make him escape, but the Exorcism, the Thunderclap, it's just too much for them to handle.
Now they want the Rubik. The Batrider's going to send up into the air shortly after the Rubik. Exorcism should just be focusing the Raxes right now as the Brewmaster runs distraction. They're going to throw another stun onto Joten, who just recently bought back. There's the last one to Raji, but there's no damage this time. Death Ward going to shred through everybody. Raji barely going to survive. Yes, he will. Batrider the only one to limp away from that fight. And that devastating fight is going to cause MSI to tap out.
Oh man, that... Man, it's no surprise that they won like they did, and actually this Death Ward, it was an Aghanim buffed one as well, so that's why the hell it just did so much.
Gotta respect the Death Ward, and well, MVP, they never let up in that aggression, and I love it when teams do that. You get ahead, you stay ahead by just pouring on the aggro, and then when you pour on that aggro, you just don't stop ever. Well, they were relentless, and MSI, they couldn't get any items up. What's their biggest item? It's like a mech, a Force Staff. That's pretty pathetic, I would say, whereas the enemy team has Bloodstones, Shiva's Guards, big items for MVP. So that's going to be it for game number 1 of this Best of 2 series, but there's 2 games, so we'll be right back for game number 2, guys.
Indeed we will. Just enjoy the music until then. You can always follow us as well, and I do believe Mineski versus Insidious Idol is going on HeflaTV too, if you're interested in that as well, but see you in game number 2, just as Mike Loris said.